Hey, good evening. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Daniel. I was a professional opera singer and beatboxer, and tonight we're going to be listening to Dan Vasc's cover of I'll Make a Man Out of You from the film Mulan. So, this is probably one of, if not the most popular musical number from the Disney film, and I love it. I love Captain Shang, I think his name is? Shang, one of them. And just having the trio of Guy, Goobers, and Mulan just all putting in painstaking work, and just the whole sequence itself was just so whimsical and fun. I'm really interested to see how Dan covers this piece, especially since there are so many different characters that are incorporated in it, like the three Goobers, Mulan, Mushu, and the captain himself. So I'm really excited to see how he tackles this, and I hope you guys are excited in joining me on this journey as well. So without any further delay, let's just jump into it. Woo! Ah!
Let's get down to business.
Ah, yeah!
The Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? You're the saddest bunch I ever met, but you can bet before we're through.
Yeah!
Mr. I
Woo!
make a man out of you.
Ooh, love that!
Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. Somehow I'll make a man out of you. I'm never gonna catch my breath. Say goodbye to those who knew me. Why was I a fool in school for cutting Jim? This guy's gone, I'm scared to death.
Oh, it does see right through me.
No one really wish that I knew how to swim. We must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Time is racing toward us, to the Huns arrive. Heed my every order, and you might survive. You're a suitor for the rage of war, so back up, go home, you're through. I could
Ah! 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 My God, dude! Oh, that scream! It just keeps getting better and better each time I hear the new Dan Vasc song. The scream just get. Oh my God! Wow! Man, I gotta follow the advice of the song. I'm never gonna catch my breath. Say goodbye to those who knew me. Man, dude, that was so great. my gosh, I loved that so much. So those were either his fans or just friends he knows, but I thought that was a really nice incorporation of other people coming into the video to represent the three goobers and Mulan and Mushu. It was just so much fun. But dude, his screams is just so good, man. So good. Added so much flair and intensity to the piece. I loved it so much. So something that I've commented on in terms of Dan's past performances is how clear his diction is. And here his diction is actually still really good. But something that I think about in terms of the original Disney performance of this piece, where Captain Shang actually also has very clear diction of, "You must be swift as coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon," and just really crisp on those consonants. And I wasn't getting a ton of that in this performance, even though I understood everything that he was saying and everything was flowing really well, and the performance itself is still stellar, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that it's a little surprising knowing the standard of Dan's diction, and not to say that he didn't uphold that standard in this video, but there were a couple of places that I heard where it wasn't as crisp as it could have been. So, one, I'm really excited to jump into this analysis just to hear the song again, because I'm really ready to rock out again. But also, I'd like to point out these small little sections. So, let's just do it. Just these drums are so great. And this orchestra coming in too, it just gets you so hype. Just his presence is so dominating. His chest is so just masculine and just so present, and his energy is just so forward and direct, and he's that Aladdin of reaching his hand out saying, "Do you trust me?" But in this very adventurous and intense way, where Aladdin feels much more compassionate of, "Do you trust me?" His is, "Let's quest, dear adventurer." I love that energy, dude. Yeah, and just that opening line, "Let's get down to business." It felt very smooth, and not to say that there's anything wrong with that, I love that, but it feels a little different in terms of that smoothness versus the intense ruggedness of the drums and musical intensity under him. It's really weird having these two different textures and sound, so interesting ideas there. Again, not to say that there's anything wrong with it, just pointing it out. Let's get down to business. But just starting on that let's, it just matches so well, and then it goes, "Let's get down to business." And it's just, it's so weird, but I love it. And his vibrato is so nice. And he just closes the end. And I've mentioned this before in other videos, but when you close off a consonant, but you don't close off the sound by saying, "To defeat the Hun," instead of the Hun, and just holding the vowel, you close to the consonant, and you just allow the N to carry through and go into the next musical phrase. Hun, Huns, did. Yeah, just by closing it off, you allow so much more room to grow into the following musical cadences. And that's a really cool choice there.
Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
Yeah!
Just had a sponge
Just that face.
I ever met, but you can bet.
Yeah, and I love that. Because in the film, that's the part where Mulan just kind of whacks him in his abdomen with the stick. So, or with the staff. So, you could bet before. Yeah, and so just to have that intensity on that note as well, with Dan doing that, is really, really great. But also, just, Dan doesn't need to move around a huge stage. This entire video is forced perspective on him from different angles. So Dan can just focus on emitting this intensity, not through this grand running around of the stage and consuming the entire stage as a whole, but channeling and concentrating all of that energy, that stage performance energy, just into his face and into his body, and just kamehamehaing it outward to his audience. I love it. Oh, that slow pan. And it just feels like he's grabbing your throat or grabbing your shirt collar and just, I'll make a man out of you. It's just so intense. I love it. Oh, love the way he approached that. Tranquil as. Yeah, let's listen to that again. Yeah! Oh, but that forest. Very clean there. Love that. Oh, fire. Not fire, but a fire within. Ah. Ah, yeah. And he just scoops into the note. Once instead of once. Just once. Just adding so much momentum into that wah sound. So you can just really feel the energy scooping into there. Typically in classical music, you would never do that. You would always start in the middle of the pitch, regardless if you either start in on a glottal or just flow into it. But in this context, where this entire piece is just so dominated by this charging momentum, it's such a good touch. So nice. I just love how forward he is. Instead of going, you're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. It's, you're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you have... And it's just so forward and in your face in comparison to this more rounded, more robust sound. It's still very big, but it's just so directed and forward, and I love that in this kind of music, dude. Oh, clue. And just letting that fall off, not just taper, but actually fall off. Oh yeah, love these open-ended notes. It just adds so much more flair and texture to the piece. Yeah! Oh, how'd of you instead of out of you. I'll make a man out of that. Just adds more coarseness, more ruggedness to the piece. It adds so much more flair. Love it.
I'm never gonna catch my breath. Think about it, those who knew me. Why was I a fool in school for cutting Jim? This guy's gone, I'm scared to death.
Baby, does it see right through me?
Not really wish that I knew how to swim. We must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon.
Yeah, so right there, with all the force of a great tie. I wish I had a little bit more intensity on those T's there, instead of with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the force of a great typhoon. I think that would have been a more appropriate approach for the energy that this piece has already created. But that being said, it's still great. Oh, his vibrato is so nice. his hair is just perfect headbanging energy. I love it.
I'm a space and taught us to the hunts arrive. Heed my every order, and you might survive. You're a suitor for the rage.
Oh, yeah. Just that approach on rage. The rage of war. Yeah. Love that energy, man.
You're a suitor for the rage of war. So back up, go home, you're through.
And then just back in the same musical sentence, just having the rage of war. And then, so pack up, go home, you're through. And just having those two textures just be so polarizing to each other, yet still within the same musical cadence, musical sentence. It's hysterical, but it's also really just incredible and captivating. I love it. I gotta listen to that again. It's the same thing as fire. We must be swift as a coursing river. Open instead of river. Allowing that open-endedness to just be so big and broad and flow into the next cadence. Yeah, so nice. Yeah, you see there it's a little bit more crisp on the great. With all the force of a great typhoon. So nice, dude. Yeah. Hitting that note without screaming is hard enough, at least for me. But man, the fact that he is doing this note on a scream on this belt, oh my gosh, it's so well executed. Listening to that again. I just don't know screamers that could do it that well. It's so nice, dude. His biceps are just so powerful. That scream is so freaking dope. We're listening to that whole sequence again. And just that look away, just to say, even though the cadence has ended, this intensity is still here. Yeah! And just the fact that it's not even in this yell, but it's just in this pure belt. Oh my gosh, this is really incredible, let alone the entire cadence itself. I don't want any particular note to outshine everything else that's happening right now, but gosh darn it, dude, it's so freaking well executed. Every part of this, dude. Yeah! Oh my gosh, dude, that was so freaking amazing. I'm so lightheaded. Wow. That was so freaking stellar, man. Loved every second of that. That was so dope. Loved just the whole vibe, the whole piece. It was very well arranged. Your execution on it was stellar. Very few criticisms about it, but honestly, just oh yeah, dude. I love that version. That's probably my favorite cover of that song I've ever heard in my life. And I've heard quite a few covers of that, but man, dude, so well executed. Loved rocking out to that. That was really great. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe and share. And if you guys didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments below. I do read all of the comments, even if I may not heart or reply to all of them, so please just know that your comments do not go unnoticed, and I do take them into further consideration as I make future videos. My Patreon is still under development, but I am making a lot of content for it, and it's turning out really well, and I'm really excited to share that with all of you once it's uploaded. My live streams are currently Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you guys would like to stop by and say hey and give me your thoughts about me or the channel, I'll be there for all of you guys at Thursdays 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is subject to change, but presently that is what it is right now, and I will absolutely let you guys know if it does get updated. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you being here. It really does mean a lot to me, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.